Thematic Apperception Test, or known as the TAT. It's a projective psychological assessment, and this is an overview of the TAT's purpose, development, procedure, scoring, validity, limits, and strengths. Development of the TAT. The Thematic Apperception Test was developed in the 1930s by Harvard psychologist Henry A. Murray, along with his fellow Harvard researcher Christiana D. Morgan. Murray is well known as a psychologist and for his 1938 book Explorations of Personality and his theory of personality, or also known as personology. Morgan worked alongside Murray as a psychoanalytical researcher, and she was considered a layman psychologist. The TAT consists of a selection of cards that depict different emotive and situational images such as the one shown here. In 1935, Murray and Morgan put together a collection of 31 images, 30 picture cards, and 1 blank card to be used for this psychological test. They gathered their images from various works, including newspapers, magazines, artwork, and some that was even commissioned just for the test. By 1938, the TAT was published and ready for use by other psychologists and researchers as it became more popular. In 1943, the TAT's cards went under revision to have only 20 cards in total, and the test scoring was also improved as card usage was based upon different groups of individuals, such as gender or age. Purpose. Murray was very interested in the inner workings of an individual's mind. He felt that the tests available during the time were not strong enough to analyze one's subconscious motivations or underlying emotions. Therefore, he developed the TAT as a holistic approach to bring about responses of those he tested with images purposely used to provoke their subconsciousness. In Murray's 1938 book, Explorations in Personality, he discussed this in detail with levels of personality that needed to be explored, including one's needs, presses, themas, dynamics, and serials. Personology. This is Murray's theory of personality explained in detail. The needs are viewed as internal desire or motivators for our human behavior. The presses are the factors or pressures that influence our environment and ultimately our behavior as well. The thema is detailed as the themes or patterns we developed in our behavior based upon how our needs and presses interact with one another. The dynamics are how the needs and presses work together over a period of time. And the serials are described as sequences of one's behavior or a consistent outpour of behavior that is prompted by other behaviors. TAT's original procedure. Administration of the Thematic Apperception Test includes carefully choosing a set of cards based upon the individual that is undergoing assessment. In 1935, Murray's original collection of 31 cards had those that could be used for all individuals and some that were specifically to be used for either male or female, or child or adult. 10 cards are to be shown, and after a week, another set of 10 cards would be used. Individuals were shown a card and asked to respond with details about the image. Questions are asked about events or emotions that led to the image. What does the individual perceive presently, and what could happen going forward? This procedure seeks to elicit a storytelling response that provides the assessor with details that are noted in the exact words of the one assessed, as well as observation of behavioral cues of the individual. TAT Revised Procedure. In modern psychological assessment, the TAT is now administered with more discretion as to which cards are chosen, and a smaller sample of cards, between 5 and 12 usually, is used. There are specific cards labeled for their use as shown in the columns here. Card images are now more culturally diverse as to represent a larger population. The TAT is now almost never used in a subsequent assessment session. TAT scoring. In Murray's original scoring of the TAT, he had 5 parts of the stories that he measured. Number 1 was the hero of the story, or the protagonist. Number 2 were the hero's needs, or the motivations for need fulfillment. Number 3 were the presses, and these were the factors that affected need fulfillment or behavior. Number 4 was theme scoring, which is the emotion and conflict resolution with the needs and the presses. And number 5 was outcome scoring. This scored outcomes having importance based on whether it was a happy or a sad ending. Scoring. In 1953, David McClellan revised the scoring for the TAT and is still considered popular today. Number 1 was achievement or goal desired within the story. Number 2 is instrumental activity or successful, unsuccessful outcome of activity. 3, goal anticipation. This is, does the story show expectation or frustration in goal achievement? Number 4, goal obstacles. What is blocking goal achievement? Number 5, nurturing press. These are the factors that would aid in goal achievement. Number 6, affective states. These are the emotions that are involved in goal achievement or frustration in not achieving goal. Number 7, themes of achievement. This is the main focus of story and is based on achievement. Today, psychologists rely on a collaborative system of scoring the TAT by reading and analyzing meaningful responses, identifying any themes within those responses, and they use their findings to apply meaning to an individual's own needs or conflicts. TAT scoring standardized. In the 1990s, Dr. Drew Weston, along with his colleagues, developed a scoring system for the TAT and other projective tests to help standardize the results. It consisted of 8 models that were rated on a Likert scale of 1 through 7. The first is complexities of representations. Second is effective quality of representations. Third is emotional investment in relationships. Fourth is emotional investment in moral standards. 5 is understanding of social causality. Number 6 is experience and management of aggressive impulses. Number 7 is self-esteem. And number 8 is identity and coherence of self. TAT validity. Many studies have been done regarding the TAT's validity and correlation with other self-report personality assessments. The motives behind the TAT are considered implicit, and self-report measures are considered explicit. It was found that the TAT had low correlation with self-report scales of motivation when looking at motivations of achievements and power. This implies that the TAT is uncovering different areas of motivation than self-report measures, and it offers a high discriminant validity for both testing measures. Convergent validity of the TAT was also found to be low between the TAT and self-report tests such as the Big Five, as they were not able to measure the same constructs of motivation that was intended. Limitations of the TAT. The TAT takes a long time to administer. It can take anywhere from half an hour to more than an hour depending on the number of cards that are used and also the amount of time spent on each card. For one card, it was usually about 5 to 10 minutes that the individual would take to tell a story about it. Lack of standardization. The TAT has various scoring systems, and psychologists will vary on how they score and administer the test with different cards. Subjective interpretations. Psychologists will also vary in how they interpret that data based on their own expertise. This means they have low inter-rater reliability. The test-retest reliability is variable. Although a study done in 1985 with high school students offered promising results when they were tested a year later with different instructions for interpretations. The TAT is not to be used as a diagnostic tool. It's supposed to provide insight regarding the individual's inner emotions and motivations. Also, cultural biases can occur as the original cards depicted 1930s westernized society in the pictures. Now they have changed the cards to be more culturally diverse, and the imagery of what is actually going on in the pictures may not apply to all different cultures, so there can still be some bias in that. The TAT. The TAT will provide insight into the complexities of an individual's behavior that a standardized test cannot assess, such as our conflicts, our emotions, our motivations. It also offers a qualitative, nuanced data in assessment as opposed to quantitative assessments that provide numerical data. It can offer psychologists evidence of underlying disorders an individual has based upon their responses or storytelling details, such as depression, anxiety, eating disorders, trauma, etc. They can be offered to anyone with the verbal cognitive abilities to participate in storytelling, and they are open-ended questions that allow individuals to freely explore their feelings and interpretations.